Ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Buenos dias, literally.
It is Wednesday night for us, Thursday morning for you guys. We just had Bible study, and we're here. We're home now. And man, I really enjoyed this Bible study.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
I enjoy all of them, but like out of because we've been doing this study on the glory of God when heaven invades the earth. And we did part 4 today, and they've all been great, But this one, man, it was, to me, it's eye-opening, for the person listening and learning. And it's a perfect example of why the Old Testament is so important.
Yeah.
We've said this many, many times that you can't say, well, I'm not Jewish and this is after Christ, so why even bother reading the Old Testament?
You can't just skim through it.
Yeah, and I know most Christians don't believe that. I know to most believers, they embrace the Old Testament, but to the few that gloss over it, like you just said, or skim over it,
yeah,
man, it's rich. It's so rich, and it's like a lot of times out here, I don't know about where you live, but like it's where my dad lives out in the ranch. Sometimes it's hard to plant plants unless you get some soil, because sometimes the land is so depleted.
Yeah.
So you get just very rich, nutritious soil, and that's what Old Testament is. It's rich with spiritual nutrients. And this is a perfect example of just as we were reading. I mean, the last 3 weeks we were really in Isaiah.
Yeah.
Just a single passage. And we spent 3 whole weeks on it. Really.
Yeah.
But today, the story when they took the ark into battle thinking they would win. And just to kind of see how it's so clear that just because they thought they had the presence of God, they still lost.
I think if people were to really, really read the Old Testament, you'll really see that history repeats itself.
Yeah. That,
real estate, the census, disease, even quarantine, there's just...
We're talking about that today?
Yeah, there's just so much, land ownership, the way things are done, through court, through everything. There's so much, you guys. Just go through Numbers, go through Judges, go through so much, even measurements in Numbers, it's just crazy. Mm-hmm. You'll find it all.
It's rich.
You'll find it all going back to the Old Testament. It's crazy because I remember when I wanted to do, back then when I wanted to open up my cafe, remember when I wanted to do my my bakery in Southern California. When I was doing my little blueprint and everything for my cafe, believe it or not, I took a lot of my ideas out of Numbers because there was, the measurements and the stuff for the tabernacle.
Yeah.
And it talked about like the richness of the colors and and how they did a lot of different things and measurements of certain things. And it was just crazy to me because I was like, they even talked about like the scarlet red and the purples and the deep purples and this and that and how things were done. And I don't know, I was able to take little ideas out of there in order for me to take ideas to try to put it into my cafe. And I called it the Tabernacle Cafe.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. And it was crazy because that was going to be the name for my cafe, guys, the Tabernacle Cafe. So, you know, it's just, there's so much richness in the history of the Old Testament. So guys, don't ever skim over the Old Testament. There's just so much there. It puts a beautiful fear of God in you. It makes you have such a reverence towards God, and that's what you need to have. And you know, when you look at the older folks, you know, you wonder why there's such a discipline and why there's such a commitment in their heart, and why a lot of the times it's because they never skimmed through it. Yeah. You know, they really didn't. You know, it's because they really understand the old and the new.
Yeah, I really, now I will say this though, about the Old Testament, is that a lot of believers though, this is where it goes wrong. I'll tell you where it goes right, I'll tell you where it goes wrong.
Well, I know what you're going to say.
It goes wrong when we don't realize who we are in Christ. Because then you read the Old Testament and try to apply it to your life. And then you read the New Testament and try to apply it to your life, and it clashes. Because the Bible, knowing the Bible, having the Spirit of God, is knowing how to discern this book. You know, so...
And how to bring balance into your life.
Yeah, but when you know who you are in Christ and you learn your identity through Christ, then you can see the Old Testament in the way it's supposed to be from a New Testament believer. You know, and that's where it gets messed up, because what happens is you basically, if you apply Old Testament and New Testament to your Christian walk, you almost create a schizophrenic Christianity.
Yeah. Then you become too religious, or you could become too...
You're all over the place.
Too New Age.
You're all over. You're all over the place, you know, and that's not good. Yeah. You know, because you got to understand context. Yeah. See, when I read the Old Testament, there's some things that are everlasting. There's some things that were to the Jewish people. There's some things that were to specific tribe. There's some things that were to specific people, you know, so... What was happening? Who was it happening to? Why was it happening? What was going on at the time? A lot of that, and knowing that we are seeing this on this side of Christ, because after Christ, we're in grace right now, a period of grace, and that wasn't always so, and it won't always be, you know. So to understand that, that's why I say I love the Old Testament once you understand its proper place to us.
But I think that's why it's so important to know who you are in Christ, so that you can have that close relationship and be able to discern and know, you know, because that's why it's so important to have that foundation. Because if you don't have that foundation, then you cannot discern. Then you don't know how to hear God's voice. You don't understand how to discern that. And I think that's why it's so important to have that foundation completely set. Because then, how do you know? Do you get what I'm saying? Because at that point, it's like at that point, either you're just going to be justifying things, or you're just going to be trying to figure things out without even really truly knowing what is right and what is wrong. You know, you're just going to be justifying things, or going on your own accord and leaning on your own understanding without really truly understanding. So that's why it's so important that your walk has to be firm on God's foundation, and you have to know who your identity in Christ is.
And through the lens of that, like for instance, you know, just a couple verses. It is not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. Yes. For instance, that. So I'm reading the Old Testament through that lens, through the fact that I am now a child of the Lord. I am now called by Him. I am renewed. I'm restored. I'm made. Old things pass away. All things become new. and then you see it through that, you know, and it's like
I have been crucified and I have now resurrected with him.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, I've been doing this interview for NPR. Is it NPR?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's been like over the past year, like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Where they keep coming back and asking questions. And this last time, he goes, the reason I came back is I showed it to my producers and directors. And he goes, man, I love everything you've said. He goes, but we realize there's a problem here. Mm-hmm. Because the problem is this, is we want you to tell your story so we can put it together, but you keep referring. He goes, every time you mention the way you were or something you did, you quickly give an insight of how you see it now as a pastor. He goes, but you're not giving us how you felt at that time. Mm-hmm. You know, and I said, that's really hard for me to do because who I was is not who I am now. So it's hard for me to even be in that mindset. Because what they do is they do this full production of different stories, and they basically make it like a audible movie. Like they put music and sound effects, and so they're trying to get out of it. He goes, I understand your change now, and we're going to do that in the story. He goes, but early on, before you were this pastor, before you were this Christian, it's getting hard for us to get what your mindset was at that time.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that even then, even him telling me that, because that's not who I am anymore. So I guess the reason I'm saying that is this, is that it's hard for me to look at my past life without the filter of being a Christian now. But now that I'm a Christian, I see it through that. I see my old life through that filter, and therefore I can see God's hand in my life all along, even when I wasn't a Christian. So in the same way, now that you're a believer, you can read the Old Testament through who you are now.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
You know, but a lot of times it comes back to people reading it and saying, like, and it's like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like tattoos. I'm not going to go into the conversation. You guys already know where I stand on it. If you don't, search the last 400 of these. And I don't remember which one it is. My point is this, though, is if I was going to argue the tattoo issue, what I'm not going to do is go to the Old Testament. Because that's the first thing people go to. Well, it says here, thou shalt not mark your bodies, blah, blah, blah. Well, the next verse says, don't cut your hair. Mm-hmm. Or don't shave your beard. So you can't use that argument if you're clean shaven. Because you can't do that. You can't say, well, tattoos are a sin because it says here in the Old Testament, but you're clean shaven because the next verse says for you not to shave your beard. You know, so there's a lot of things like that in the Old Testament. You know, so you can't... You can't pick and choose and cherry pick verses like that. You just got to understand where it's coming from. You know, so anyways, today's Bible study, I think shed a lot of light, guys. You know, I think it shed a lot of light and understanding. Kitty. What is she doing?
She's pulling on my blanket.
Oh.
Sorry, guys. We don't edit anything here. And Kitty's pulling on my blanket. And I'm not happy about it.
You want to stop her?
Yes, I do.
If you hear cat beating, it's not us, it's just special effects. Where'd she go?
I don't know. She left running.
Oh.
Okay.
No,
Sorry,
there's no
guys.
cat beating.
No cat beating, guys. But it's my nice scripture blanket, so it's my decorative blanket, and I don't like it. I don't like when she tries to pull on it.
You know, but anyways, I think it was a insightful study. that you can have the presence of God and His glory be gone. And if you don't know what that means, then watch the Bible study, and there's a deeper breakdown of that, in it, and that's pretty much it, guys. I did want to thank Sister, I don't know how to pronounce her name, from Carson City. She watches us. And I'm not going to butcher your name and try to say it, but like yesterday we had mentioned that we went through there, and she had said, I don't remember what she said. I read it in the morning, but basically, welcome to her neck of the woods or whatever. Aww. Her and her husband, and I'm not sure. I don't recall if she said her husband watches us or not. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what church she attends there, because I did ask if you saw in the comments. Did you see the comments?
I seen, yes.
You saw my response?
I mentioned no, but I seen something about her saying that we were on that side of town.
Yeah, because remember we were driving through, and I said, "Is there any churches here?" And we were like looking, but she had said we were one street off.
I saw one or two only.
I thought you saw one.
No,
you saw the second one in Reno.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Carson City, you saw a sign of one.
Yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
But apparently, she said on that strip, there's no churches, but a street or two down, there is, I guess. Okay. And I'm wondering if there's anyone else that watches us in that area. If is there anyone else that watches us from Lake Tahoe, Carson City, Reno?
How about Truckee? Truckee's such a cute little city too. So tiny.
Anyone from Angels Camp? Sonora?
Jamestown. Bear Valley.
Yeah, Bear Valley, Murphy, Arnold, Copperopolis. And if any of those, I'm just really curious about that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's like Carson City, though. I feel like, man, it'd be awesome to have a house of rest there. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying. I don't know why. I think we've been there. This is our second time.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, but lately we've been really pulled, and we've been pulled a lot towards that end a lot lately. We used to go to the city, to San Francisco a lot, and mainly because I used to have a lot of appointments over there. I used to have a lot of visits to the neurosurgeon and to the neuro-ophthalmologist over there. And every month that we would go, I would go over there, and we'd make a day out of it. And now my neurologist and all that stuff is here local in Modesto, so there's no need for me to have to go over there anymore. So now whenever we just want to take a drive, and David just tells me, get your camera. And guys, it's not very often that we get to ever do much, but for us, we'll be completely honest, which is something so important to do. For us, an outing, a date, or something is sometimes just going to grab something to eat or just taking a drive. And that's like a big deal to us, because sometimes we're very busy with ministry, or we're very busy in life doing things that sometimes we just have to break away one day and just go drive. And that's a day for us.
Let me clarify something before people fill in the blanks. We're not saying we're pulled to live there. That's not what we're saying. I know people are like, they're leaving Modesto?
No.
That's not what we're saying. So, see, I'm like real big on, if we leave blanks open, people fill in the blanks. So I'm filling that blank in myself. We're not talking about moving. We pastor Modesto. But like, for instance, Arizona, we have Phoenix, House of Rest Phoenix. Because there's a House of Rest Phoenix, that means we're going to be visiting there. We're going to be visiting there often. You know, I'm not saying every week, I'm not saying every month, but there's going to be regular visits there because we are, with Tony and his wife Michelle, are establishing a church there. Mm-hmm. So that automatically means there's a connection with us. Mm-hmm. I honestly, when we visited Vegas, I really felt a pull there for a church, not for us to move there. You know, so it was funny because there's a little airport here in Stockton, and it only services 3 cities: San Diego, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how fitting. It's literally $30-something each way, something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, you know what? And I jokingly told her, I'm like, I guess those are the 3 cities we're establishing House of Rest, because that's the only way only cities we could afford to fly to frequently. And it's funny because, bam, Phoenix. You know, I would love to establish something in Las Vegas. And in that same sense, we love going toward that direction of Tahoe. And Tahoe's real small, but when we go through Carson City.
And isn't it beautiful that we just not too long ago received a visit from somebody from towards the San Diego area? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I thought it's more over here, Orange County.
Yeah, still towards that area.
Yeah, it was like an hour away from San Diego.
Yeah, that doesn't mean she can't move towards San Diego.
Well, she was talking about moving out of state. Remember?
Or Modesto.
Are you ripping those off?
No, this one broke. My nail broke, guys.
So, anyways, we love driving in the towns I just mentioned, but for some reason, I'm telling you, the same feeling I had in Modesto when I first got out of prison. I said, Lord, I know you're calling me to preach. Where, boom, I felt this thing just in Modesto. I'm not from Modesto. Like, it's weird because Carson City, I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I just like it because the Costco's off the freeway and Burlington is right there. I don't know. And then there's a little gas station with a little dinosaur on it.
Oh my God.
Little green dinosaur. And I like that green dinosaur.
St. Clair?
Seriously?
What? That's what it's called, St. Clair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. Now,
he's nuts.
Now, Reno, we have an affiliate church already there, Pastor Rick. So, if you are in the Reno area, Pastor Rick, I wish I could put his information. Maybe I'll put it in the comments. Living Water Church with Pastor Rick, and he's already in Reno, and we're praying for that to grow. Mm-hmm. And then remember, he took us to Yarrington.
Oh my God, where there's wild horses there, guys.
Yeah, he took us to Yarrington, where he pastors a church in Reno and in Yarrington, which is deep in Nevada. So when we went to preach in Reno, in the morning, he took us to Yarrington, like an hour and a half into Nevada. Remember? And it was a little small town. It was awesome there. People were so awesome. And there's wild horses there. Like off the freeway, you just look and there's a bunch of horses running around. And they're not in gates. They're just running around. You know, but... and
then we seen Truckee. So cute there.
Yeah, Truckee.
You know what I love? I love the old little houses, the old little...
Oh, we have pictures. So we're going to put these pictures up as we're talking right here.
Yeah.
Truckee.
I would like one of those old little houses for a little old bakery.
Yeah.
You guys, I always wanted a little bakery. I surrendered and dedicated my bakery.
Your bakery?
My bakery. My bakery to the Lord a long time ago. And I remember when I told the Lord, I said, Lord, this bakery is yours. Unless I can give this over to you, unless it's going to be used for your glory, I don't ever want to do it. And do you remember somebody wanted to invest in it? Somebody was like saying, I want to invest in it and everything. But the moment that they wanted to do something completely different and they said, well, we need to do this and we need to do that and we need to do this, I was like, no, because this bakery specifically, I wanted it to literally groom mothers who needed homes. I wanted it to employ single mothers with children that were coming out of centers, that were coming out of abused homes, or You know, I wanted to teach mothers how to bake and employ moms who needed homes. And that's what I wanted to do, you know, because I came out of that life. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to dedicate it to that. And I said, Lord, until I'm able to do that, I don't want to do that. And I remember that these people wanted to invest in my bakery, and they said, well, we want you to do this kind of food and we want you to do that. And they wanted to change it all up. Mm-hmm. Remember when I moved here, somebody wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. And I told them, no, I can't do it. They were willing to open up a bakery for me and do it all. And I said, no. I said, I'm not going to do it. So, man, but when I looked at Truckee, I was like, that's the kind of place I would want to, you know, open up a little bakery for something like that.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So many dreams, so short of a life. That's the tragedy.
Hey, it can still happen.
No, I know it can, but like, there's so many things so many places, and I'm just like...
I know, I just want to go everywhere.
And I'm just like, you know, we've seen so much just in our 3-hour radius of us.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, man, I like me. I'm like, what does Montana look like? What does Wyoming look like? What, you know, like places I've never, you know, I don't know what states you've been to, but there's places I have never been to. There's a place I want to revisit. Like, you know, it's been years since I've gone to Texas. You know, I want to visit Albuquerque. I want to visit Brother Derek. You know what I mean? I want to have some of that barbecue over there. There's these places that I want to go to that I'm just like, Lord, you know, I want to preach over there. You know, like, so I can see. I'm like, Lord, I don't even need no, I'm not going to charge to preach somewhere. I just want to be able to see. That's my payment, to be able to see these places.
I know. Yeah. It's just cool.
Yeah.
It's just cool to have. You know what my mom used to always say in Spanish? She used to always say, no hagas castillos en el aire. And I used to tell my mom, well, it doesn't cost anything to dream. And no hagas castillos en el aire, it meant like, don't make castles with air. That's what she would say. And I would tell her, well, Mom, it doesn't cost anything to make castles out of air, you know? And that's what she would say. And I said, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to dream, Mom. And she would just look at me like, you know, you're such a daydreamer. And I'm like, well, it sure don't cost anything, so leave me alone, you know? So, guys, it's okay to daydream, and it's okay to have thoughts, because those are the things when you dream, you know, it puts things into action, you know? And even they can be small dreams or big dreams or whatever, because those actually, what it does, it gives you goals, you know? And they can be small goals or they can be big goals, it doesn't matter, but just make sure that it's a goal and it's something to move forward towards. And you can't walk a mile unless you take a step forward. You have to take a step forward, guys. So walk that mile, take a step, go for it. Just go for it. Go take a drive. Go do what we do. We take drives. We take drives and we just go look at God's beauty, and just, He makes everything possible, guys.
Amen.
Nothing is impossible for Him. All is possible.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, we've talked their ear off today.
Yeah. So we have a special event. If you're watching this in 2021, I don't know what month we're in.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
We're in April.
Okay, April something. What's the event date?
Honey, for them it's April 8th.
I know, no,
well,
but 9th and 10th.
The event's on the 9th.
Yeah, so April 9th and 10th, 2021, if you're watching this before that. We're going to go live on Friday night at 7 o'clock, Saturday night at 6 o'clock. And don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be worth it. And we hope to see you there live. Or if you're close, come by. Even if you're far, make your way.
Yeah, make your way. I know that it's going to be pretty full. So
yeah,
try to try to make your way there, guys, and just try to be on time, you know, because I know seating's going to be limited, so try to get there, guys.
All righty.
All right, guys, we love you.
See you later. Have your coffee. Hopefully the coffee was good. If you already drank it, God bless you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.